here we are. We got Chuck here, master of the Northwest die.
Yeah, buddy.
And we are going to show you the basics of doing your own die at home. So, the very first step you want to have, of course, is having a disc to die. And having a new disc is best. You can use a used disc, but after it's been used, you can have like some burrs and stuff around the edges, which can make for a messy die.
It could be a little more dangerous, that's for sure.
Yeah. And most people choose to take the stamp off of the disc. You can do a die with it on there, but it's nice to have a blank canvas. And the way most people take the die off is with acetone.
Acetone.
And you want to use 100% acetone, which you can pick up in a hardware store. There's nail polish remover that contains acetone in it, but it's not 100% and won't do the job as good. There's other stuff like lacquer thinner and brake cleaner that we've heard of people using, but acetone is tried and true and does the job well. So right here we've got a disc with a silver stamp. Silver stamps and gold stamps are the best to take off.
They come off the easiest for sure.
Other stamps that you'll see, you have like rainbow stamps. These can be the worst because they leave a
sort of mustard colored ghost of themselves on the disc.
Mustard or urine, however you want to color it. It's
it's gone from G to PG, dude. Way to go.
So yeah, just take note that if you have a rainbow stamp, that you'll probably have a ghost stamp left over. And other stamps that you'll see, there's other metallic colors. This is a blue one. This isn't as bad as a rainbow stamp, but it can still it can leave some smearage on there once you take it off.
The blue smearage. All right, ready?
We are ready.
Take off the.
So Chuck's dipping in the acetone with just a normal paper towel.
Acetone is like magic. Just takes it right off.
Applies with some vigorous pressure. A little wiping.
Gone.
It's like it was never there. And some discs have the stamp burned in deeper than others. It can leave ridges. And those can come off a little bit more difficultly. Innova is generally pretty good about having smooth stamps. Discraft can be a little bit deeper. And there you go. That is a perfectly clean disc, ready for dyeing.
The blank canvas.
Here we have a die that Chuck has already cut out. This is cut out on signed vinyl, and this is intermediate grade. If you're not familiar with signed vinyl, it's basically the same stuff the bumper stickers are made out of, and you can pick it up from any sign shop or just Google it for signed vinyl and you can find plenty of it. I believe this particular variety is made from 3M, which you can see coming through the
3M. Yeah.
Yeah. And how much vinyl did you get when you did this, Chuck?
Oh, I got a 50-yard roll of 30-inch vinyl.
And that's a lot of vinyl.
It's vinyl for life.
Yeah. Chuck does a lot of dies and he still has plenty to go. So you can see that he's cut this all out. Just use an X-Acto knife. Then you can see this stuff here. This is transfer tape, which is basically masking tape.
4 inches wide.
4 inches wide. You can use regular masking tape, but it'll take a lot longer to put out the individual strips. The whole reason for doing it is on pieces like this is Scarface here, by the way, if you couldn't tell. If you look at the gun here, this is not connected to the vinyl at all. So when you do the transfer, if you didn't have that tape on there, you'd have to try to align that up by yourself, which would result in a bad die most likely. So, and as you can see, Chuck has a light box here. The light box is not entirely essential, but it is quite helpful.
It helps. It helps. I like to, before I even cut the vinyl, I like to take a disc and just trace a circle around it.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I go back later to set the disc on there, it just helps me center it. Helps you center the disc right on the die.
Right.
So,
Just smoothing out any air bubbles that might be under the transfer tape.
Just one last good luck push. You ready for this?
We are ready. I'm just taking off the backing here. As you might be able to tell, the stuff is extremely sticky.
Whoops.
That's not a bad whoops, by the way.
Yeah. Oops. That's a bad whoops. I whoopsed because I crossed in front of the camera. Alright, so the sticky side is down, or up. I mean, see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is the do or die step right here. Once you stick the vinyl to the disc, that's it. If you misalign it, or if you screw it up in any way, you gotta cut a whole new piece of vinyl out.
Yeah, and it's better to just start over from scratch and try to fudge it out. And as Chuck is setting this down, you'll see the little pieces of electric tape on the disc. That's not anything essential. That's just us censoring out my personal information, so I don't have rabid female stalkers coming after me. You know, that is a problem sometimes.
There we go. See, it's stuck on there.
And it is stuck. And it looks like it's pretty well centered.
Yep. So now, this is squeegee from a sign shop, but any credit card will do. Any credit card you care about. But this thing's great. It's got little finger grips.
All right.
So we're smoothing out all the air bubbles.
Air bubbles are bad.
Air bubbles your enemy.
The air bubbles will cause bleeding in a disc, and bleeding can be seen.
Where's the bleeding?
Here's one that we did earlier. You can see in the detail on Bugnish's teeth, there's a little bit of bleeding.
See around all the cuts, that's where there were little air bubbles, and it lets the dye right under the vinyl.
Mm-hmm. It's the kind of thing that a lot of people won't notice at first glance, but you as the dyer will see it and you'll kick yourself for letting that bubble go unpassed.
Alright, I still got some bubbles, but they're not next to cuts, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I think we're ready to take the tape off now.
Okay.
Got it all nice and secure here. Come on.
And it's coming.
It's coming. Eventually. Oh, I just realized we're doing yellow vinyl on a yellow disc. It shows up real well. I don't know, can you get that?
You can
not really, huh?
Kind of see, but it's...
You see through it?
Yeah,
not
you can
really,
see.
huh?
You can see a little bit better there. You can see parts where the vinyl's on and off.
Alright.
By the way, the color of the vinyl isn't that important because it's just gonna get thrown away, but generally lighter color is better so you can see through it. So like yellow or white vinyl, I'd say, is probably the best bet to go with.
Yeah, any color work, but if you can see through the vinyl, it just makes your life that much easier. Alright.
You can see Chuck is fashioning little handles on the side. These come in handy for when you're doing the dip into the dye.
Yeah, it gives you something to hold on to.
Yeah.
You know, instead of trying to, just wedge your fingers against the side of the disc, you can actually just grab the handles.
Mm-hmm. All right. It looks like we are good to go. Let's do one last scan to see any further bubbles in there, which is always a good idea.
Yeah, you can see all these bubbles that are here, but they're not on one of the cuts. They're not on a cut edge, so it's not going to let the dye bleed underneath.
All right.
It's only the bubbles near the cuts that are bad, but this looks like it came out crystal clear and ready to go.